Hi, my name's Ted. This is the Issues of Life. And today I want to talk to you about stress. And I'm going to ask a really dumb question. Does anybody deal with stress in your life? Right? Um, you know, it seems to me that the level of stress, it's just been increasing in these last times. At least it seems that way to me, and I think that can be different for different people and this and that. But I think it's safe to say that we all deal with stress on some level. At least if you're over 3 years old, you deal with stress on some level, you know, at some time. And I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking about my childhood, and I was thinking, you know, way back in the day, um, when I was growing up, you know, as a kid, you didn't have a whole lot of stress. Why is you just for most of us, you just you didn't have a care in the world. Okay, you just hung out with your friends, went outside, you know played football, played baseball, whatever you did, and you know there wasn't a whole lot of stress. Now, obviously that I understand that depending on the type of household you were brought up in and whatnot, but at least for me and my family was somewhat dysfunctional, and um, but I don't remember a whole lot of stress at a young age. But after a while, after starting to starting to get into uh, higher levels of learning, junior high, high school, more and more, it seemed like the stress would increase. Well, why is that? Well, because responsibility increases. You're a kid, you don't have a whole lot of responsibility, right? Um, so the more responsibility, the more stress there is in making those decisions and whatnot. But how do we deal with stress? That's the that's the question. Everybody experiences stress. How do we deal with it? That's the question. Philippians chapter 4 verse 7 says it this way, says, or actually we'll start with 6, uh, verse 6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Now, it starts out saying, do not be anxious about anything. That always bothered me, okay? It still bothers me. How do you not be anxious about anything at all, right? So, uh, but obviously, God knows that we will confront stressful situations, and I believe that's why this is here. He's saying that there is a way that we can uh, deal with stress that's effective in our lives. How do we? What's the Bible saying? But in every situation, by prayer and petition. What is prayer? Prayer is simply speaking to God. With thanksgiving, present your request to your best friend, to your mom. No, it doesn't say that. It says request to God. And what is the result? The result is the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ. Who doesn't want peace in your life? That's what we're after, right? We want to eliminate stress and we want to have peace. This is the key, okay? Also, it says, I'll read this real quick. 1 Peter 5, verse 7 says, cast all your anxiety, cast all your cares on him because he cares for you. Now, going back in our childhoods, why did we have so little stress in our lives? Yes, we would go through times of stress and whatnot, but as a parent, or even a child to your parent, you get stressed out. Your parents can see that. And what do they say? They say, come here, man. It'll be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Just calm down. And all of your needs, whether they be material or emotional, you would go to your parents and you would count on them and you would trust in them. When they said everything's going to be all right, you would believe that on a certain level and it make you feel better, right? So in the same way, God's saying, come to me. I care for you. Cast all your cares on me because I care for you. I will make everything all right. I'll pick you up and say, everything's all right. And you can count on that because he has all the resources to do it. Okay? Now, it doesn't say to deal with the stress, to go out and vent to every person that will listen to you. Venting is, I guess, in some cases, it's okay to have somebody that, your sounding board or whatever. I know sometimes, my wife will be venting and, just sharing this, whether it's about work or this and that and the other thing. And I'll start to, give her some advice. And she's like, no, I don't want to hear your advice. I just want you to listen to me, So usually when people vent, when you come away from that, you don't necessarily feel any better. Why? Because you're usually the person that you're venting to can't really help you, can't really get you out of the situation or change the situation, doesn't have the resources to do it unless you have a rich friend and you have a financial deal that you're doing and your rich friend, is, wants to help you out. But other than that, you're just venting. You're venting and the person cannot help you. On the other hand, God says, come to me, cast your cares on me because I care for you. He's telling you, I do care for you just like your parents would care for you. And he says, present your petitions, ask, but here's the key, with thanksgiving. That is the key. It's hard to be thankful and stressed out at the same time, especially when you're talking to God. And then the result of that is that the peace of God that passes all imagination. Because when we're in those situations, we think, nothing's going to make us feel better. But guess what? You talk to God, if you cast your cares on God, he will give you peace. And he will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. Thank you. This is the Issues of Life.